welcome to my channel. My name is Franka and I'm glad you're here. Today we're reading Christmas book. It is December now. I've already started my first book, which is the Holiday Honeymoon Switch, and I'm about 50 pages in and I already don't like it. I don't really understand what's going on so far. Like, there's a wedding, the wedding was broken off, and I don't know how this turns into a holiday switch. I have an idea, but I'm not sure I'm even gonna like that idea, to be honest. But I don't know who these guys are. Haven't been mentioned, I don't think, as of right now. So I'm gonna keep reading and we're gonna see if it gets better. Alrighty, it is the next day. I think it's like 2 days later since we last spoke. Last night I filmed a 30-minute read with me to try and get through this book as quickly as possible. I have like 40 pages left, so we're gonna try and zoom through this book. It does get better. I like it a lot more now that I've read more. It is like 2 different love stories in one, and I'm hoping the best friends show off their guys to each other at the end. But we're gonna keep reading, we're gonna jump back into this and hopefully finish tonight. Okay, it is like the 10th or something. I am 1/3 of the way through December, and I've only read 1.5 books. So I'm hoping that Christmas is all around will be finished today. I read 100 morning before work, and I'm gonna try and read at least 100 right now, and then maybe 100 later. Because it's only like 294 pages, so I think that's very doable. So far, I'm a little confused because she's like an actor, or was a child actor for this Christmas movie, and she doesn't want to do the reboot, and she's getting a lot of hate and everyone's mad at her. And she meets this guy who literally like owns, his family like owns the house where this like movie is filmed, and I think she's gonna end up doing the movie. But I think that he's like the kid, like her pen pal from London. She's from New York. I think he's the one who played the pen pal from England. So I think they're gonna be in the movie together. That's my thoughts. But I'm not sure. Like, he hasn't mentioned anything about like being a child actor or anything. So we will see. Alrighty, I'm on page 200 of this book, and I fear it's still like stagnant. Nothing like truly interesting has happened. They're literally just going around to these Christmas movie locations and drawing them, and I fear it is not for me because I'm bored. I'm 200 pages in, and like, although I like their bantering, but like nothing's happening. Like, nothing interesting is happening. And so far what I thought was gonna happen hasn't happened, and I fear it's boring me. So I'm not the biggest fan right now. Like, it's not a bad book. It's entertaining enough, but I fear I'm not enjoying it as much as I've enjoyed other books. It's like the 15th right now. We're like halfway through December, and I've only finished 2 books, which is crazy. So we're gonna ignore the Christmas books on my TBR, and we're gonna switch to one of these. I know one of them that I have on my TBR is a shorter book, but I'm not excited to read it. So we're just gonna mood read, and I'm in the mood to read Christmas books, obviously, but a shorter Christmas book. But I also want to give myself enough time to read Throne of Glass before the end of the year, so I need to start reading books faster. And reading books faster means reading short books because I work a lot next week, so I need short, quick, and easy books so that I can move on to Throne of Glass. Court of Thorns and Roses is the book that got me into reading, so I want to end my first year reading Sarah J. Maas. So we're gonna read Throne of Glass, hopefully by the end of the year, and we're also gonna pick one of these. I think we're gonna do Window Shopping first because it's the tiniest book. So we're gonna start with that. And let's get into reading. Stop, I've only read the first page. As we've learned, I don't read the back of books. I have no idea what this book is about, right? I thought it was gonna be some cute Christmas romance, right? And it was talking about Christmas things, about elves, Christmas magic, whatever. Tell me why after I read the first page and I turn the page, it goes, Twist of the Century. I got released from Bedford Hills Correctional early exemplary behavior. I don't know if this is the girl or a guy. One of them's a convict. What would you do? Now I have to read. I thought this was gonna be a cute Christmassy romance. It's about a criminal. So let's keep reading and see what she or he did to get into jail. Hello, I have 100 pages left of this book. I'm on page 150. I don't know if I like it too much. It's not like the worst, but it's not the best. Kind of just there. We're gonna keep reading, see if it gets any better. Hopefully it does. Fingers crossed. There's nothing like bad that has happened yet, and I have a feeling something bad's gonna happen with her past being like a criminal. I think something's gonna happen between her and his family, and he's gonna like choose her over his family because obviously she has a criminal record and a criminal past. And I think the way his family is raised and brought up, they're not really into that. So we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so last night I finished Window Shopping. I ended up giving it a 2 stars. I didn't really like it that much. There wasn't anything wrong with it. I just didn't really like it. And I can't explain to you what that means. They did like learn something, which was great. I didn't really like them as a couple too much. I also feel like there wasn't enough conflict for me. Like there wasn't like an actual incident where I was like, this isn't fixable. How are they gonna fix this? You know what I mean? It was one of those like miscommunication, not technically miscommunication, but kind of like that, where she feels one way, he feels the same way, but they're both in their heads about it, kind of thing. I also feel like the ending wasn't enough for me, so 2 stars it is. With that said, we're gonna move on to the next book. I think I'm gonna do Wreck My Plan by Jillian Meadows. It's about 300 pages, so I'm hoping I can at least finish it in 3 days, maybe 2, possibly 1, if I feel like I'm in the mood for reading. So let's get into it. Alrighty, I just finished the last book for this video called Wreck My Plans. It's by Jillian Meadows. You didn't hear me talk about this book because I didn't really like it that much. And there's like nothing wrong with the book per se. I didn't like how these 2 characters have both been madly in love with each other for 10 years. Both of them. They both love each other. And they just like never said anything. They're like, oh, they don't like me. I'm just not gonna say anything. And the fact that they were like, oh my god, I love this person. I love this person. I've loved you my entire life, just annoyed me because they could have said something long time ago. I just really didn't like the book. um, it's not a bad story. I would still like recommend it to people who would want to read it. I was struggling to want to pick up this book. Like there was nothing that was like capturing my attention that's like, oh my god, like this just happened. Like you need to read this book. But also with that said, I don't really like romance books is what I've come to learn. Why I keep buying them? You tell me. I don't know. But but yeah, I don't know. Wasn't my cup of tea. With that said, that's our last book. Oh, I never said. I give this 2 stars. Didn't like it. I don't think I think I could definitely finish this book by the end of the year, but I don't know if I want to read it. To be honest, I might save it for next year because the other books are all really big. What is it? The 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 5 more days. I could read one more book. I could definitely read it by the end of the year. I don't know if I'm going to. I feel like I need a break from reading. I'm not in the mood for romances. What I really want to read is Throne of Glass. I want to read that entire series, and I did want to read it before the end of this year, but I think I'm going to run out of time. I might just start that and then count it for next year, and this will be our final book of 2024, which is crazy. If you are interested in all the books I read this year, stay tuned. I'm going to do a reading wrap up of all the books I read this year. I also plan to organize my bookshelf because it is a disaster. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and comment down below. If you didn't, feel free to leave a hate comment. I'd love to hear your opinion, and I will see you guys tomorrow.